see what's happening. Mm-hmm. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Oh, hello, Joshua Graham. Good to see you. I got to use my other device so I can see you. But thank you so much for coming in. So, how are you doing? And do me a favor. Can you hear? I have a machine running in the background. Can you hear okay? And tell me if it's annoying and you can't hear. And let me know. So, how are you doing? Are you off for the summer? You're getting ready to go back, right? To school. Okay, cool. But anyway, so I'm doing a cake today. And this is a real easy recipe. And, oh, there's Miguel. Good to see you. Welcome in. So I'm doing a cake. And let me know if this sound in the background is annoying and I'll turn it off. But I just wanted to. Oh, so you can hear. Is it bothering you? That's the other question. Oh, the screen is small. It is. Yeah, pretty small. Okay. So this is. Let's see if what we can do here. I wanted to. I wanted to use my other device, but my other device is charging, so I'm on my phone, and that's why I'm so tiny. But you're doing good. Oh, on your weekend, great. So I'm gonna do this thing. It's called a 2-egg cake, and I hope you guys are feeling okay. Miguel, I know you weren't feeling so well, so I'll show you what goes in it. So it's gonna be. I have to measure the flour, but it's gonna be 1 3/4 cup of flour. So this is totally off the diet, and yeah. So just so you know, this is what we're doing today. But I'm going to mix the flour. I'm going to do the flour and the dry ingredients in one bowl. And then I'm going to do the wet ingredients in another bowl. All right. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I got to dry this a little bit. It's a little bit wet. So I'm going to measure the flour first and the baking soda. I mean, baking powder. Sorry. So let me go back again. Okay. So what it is called the 2-egg cake. I'm getting this out of this recipe book. It's called the Meta Given. It's a long title, so hold on. It's the Meta Given, the Modern Family Cookbook by Meta Given. And I forget when this came out. I'll check it when the cake's baking. I'll get back and let you know. And we're gonna go. So I'm using this recipe, and so I'm gonna do this from scratch. This is all homemade ingredients, nothing fancy. You know what I'm saying? So this is milk here. I got some flour here, which I'm gonna measure out in just a second. It's gonna have some 2 eggs. Got 2 eggs, sugar, and I've already measured out the sugar. And then you need a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, and then it's a stick of butter. Okay, and then 3/4 cup of milk and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to measure out the dry ingredients first, because that's like the hard part, and the rest of it's pretty easy. All right, so let's see how this goes. All right, so here we go. So here's the bowl. I got my recipe here. I'm working on a really small space, so please forgive me. All right, so this is a 1/2 cup measuring cup. And this is the flour. I'm going to see if I can put it. Oh, here we go. You can see that better. Yep. So I'm just going to sort of scoop it in here. And it's marked inside if you ever do any baking, all the baking cups are marked. And you're supposed to put it in there. You're not really supposed to scoop it in. You're supposed to put it in with either a spoon or a fork or something like that. And whenever you're doing the flour, you sort of spread it out and make it flat. And that's how you get your measurement. Now this measurement is a little bit below the top. So I'm going to have to play with this. But then I'm going to... what you have to do is you have to sift it. So I'm going to use this big strainer here. So when you sift it, you just sort of take it and drop it through. And then you just shake it. And what this does is it takes out all of the, if there's any impurities in the flour, it'll pick it out. So like if any water gets in there, you'll see little balls or little water things. And then you just sift it like that. So right there, that's a half a cup. And I'm just going to put this through. And I'll show you what comes out of the flour. And I would suggest anybody who does baking, I don't know if you can see this, but there's little balls here. Ugh, try not to smash them. But they're inside of there. You see that in the bottom? Oh yeah, that's good. But anyway, those little balls come out in the flour. And sometimes you get insects, which is nasty. But this is what you do to try to avoid that. So I have to do 1 3/4 cups. So that's a half. I'm just using my half measuring cup. Let me put this a little closer. But this certainly helps. And so I'm just going to measure this and keep sifting it. And then toss out those little balls that come out of the flour. Because sometimes moisture gets in there. It's been very humid. I don't know about you guys, but it's been humid as heck where I am and everywhere else, really. I'm just going to toss this in the sink real quick. Okay. So, but anyway, I'm going to keep up with the chat in just a second. But anyway, I hope you push the like button. And hopefully you learn a little something. But I'm just sifting the flour. Yep. And usually they say sift the flour, sift the baking powder, if you have baking soda, anything like that. It's always good to sift it. And like I said, sometimes you just find random stuff in there. So I'm just doing it real fast. And hopefully it'll just come through. But you see it coming through the bottom there. It's going right into the bowl. All right. And I'll show you. There's more balls on the bottom. You see that comes out of there? That's what comes out. So, do one more, and that'll be 1 1.5, and then I have to do half more. So let me just do the next one. So I'm measuring out 1 3/4 cups of flour, and probably should have done this off camera, but hey, it is what it is. All right now. Okay. There we go. So here's the third. Measured that out. And it helps to measure. Baking is a little more precise than cooking. So I'm being precise but slightly imprecise because I'm doing this really fast. But it should come out nice. And this makes your cake more tender whenever you're doing this. Okay. So that's 1 1/2. And now I need to do a half of a half, which is 1/4. For all the math majors. Okay. So you see all the balls that come out the bottom there? Let me see. Yeah, there they are. I don't know if you can see them, but there's the balls. So that's what comes out of your flour. And it usually just gets moist from the weather. And like I said, sometimes you get insects, which is scary. But hopefully you don't. But you know what happens. Because this is a natural product, and insects, if it's good for you, they'll eat it. Yeah. But anywho, not to scare you. All right, there we go. That's okay. So I got 1 3/4 here. Let me sift the last little section. Okay. Let me get that out. And then I'm going to remove this flour. It'll be out of the way. Because flour is messy. I've already messed up my counter. It's already got flour everywhere. But that's what happens when you bake. All right. Okay. And then you can always go and remeasure this if you want, just to make sure you have enough. But I think that's actually pretty accurate. So I'm good. Put that to the side. You need a half a teaspoon of salt. So I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to put probably just a little under that because I really don't like the salt too much. Half a teaspoon. 1/2 teaspoon. Which is this guy. So I think that's 1/2 teaspoon. We'll go with that. Okay. So I'm just measuring that and put that in with the dry. Let's see what else I'm doing. So I need 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder. So that's this. And you can also sift this as well. This gets very dry inside. So I need 1.5 teaspoons. Yep. You can measure it on the side just like this. So this is 1. And I'm going to sift it. And you can put this on the top of your thing. Well, actually that fell in. Well, there we go. Usually these will hold. But if you put the sifter on the top, it should hold. But this one's not holding. We do 1.5. And then that's all the dry ingredients basically. And I'm just sifting it through. Okay. And I'm going to toss out the extra there. Okay. So we got the dry ingredients. Now we're going to do the wet ingredients. So there it is. It's hard to see, but there it is inside, all ready to go. So that's the dry ingredients. I'm going to put that off to the side. And then we're going to do the wet ingredients. So the wet ingredients have, this is 1 stick of butter, which is a 1/2 cup of butter, and it's softened. And then we're going to beat it with the beater. So I got my mixer here. And then we're going to put 1 teaspoon of vanilla, which we got here. And then the 2 beaten eggs. Okay. So I'll show you the eggs. I'll show you a little cooking tip. And we'll take a look at this and I'll show you. So here's a little tip. I found this at, I want to say, it was one of the craft stores. I can't remember if it was Michael's or the other one. I don't remember. But they had these little egg things. And what you can do is, while you're waiting to cook, you can take it out of the carton and leave it on the stove and then pull it out when you're ready to go. So this is really cool. It only holds 6 eggs. But what's really nice about it is it just keeps everything kind of in a nice, nice, easy way for you. So it's pretty good. All right. So I'm going to, beat the eggs. And usually what you do is you just crack the egg into another container and then beat it with a fork, which is what I'm going to do. Now, let me see. I'm going to take a look at the chat real quick. It's been a minute. So anyway, welcome in, Tuber Chat. Hello. Thanks for coming in. And Suzanne's here. Oh, chocolate buttercream is your favorite. Thank you for coming, sifting some soil. Yahoo! Thanks for coming in, you guys. And if I missed you, sorry, I'm just running my mouth. Shatika, hello. All right now. Got in from clean the chicken coop. Ooh. And, okay, so Suzanne's making blueberry muffins. Nice. That is pretty funny. Backlash, hello. Making a yarn cake, not today. And you're doing good. Okay, good. I just want to make sure I got everybody. Now, what was I reaching for? Oh, I forgot my paddle. So I'm going to use my, whatever this thing is. I'm going to use the mixer. And I'm going to beat the wet ingredients. So the whole thing with cakes and cookies, you want to soften the butter, and then you add the salt and you don't know the salt. You add the sugar, the vanilla, and the egg. And that's pretty much any recipe that you're going to go for. That's what they do. So I'm going to hook this up to my mixer. I'm going to have to arrange my mess here. And then we're going to go from here. But I'm going to start the oven. You always bake everything at 350. So I'm getting it started at 350. And we'll go from there. So I have to do a little arranging before I go to the next step. And then we're going to throw this thing in the oven. But anyway, like I said, I'm making this thing. It's called a 2-egg cake, which is very easy. And I'll put the, I'll have to go back and type it in the description. This is not my recipe, but this was in a cookbook that my grandmother had. And I ended up buying like 4 copies of it because I killed 2 of them. And I'll tell you why I enjoy this cookbook. All right, so let me just see if I can arrange myself and see how it goes. Okay, so everybody, but thank you so much for coming. Let's see. We have Mashula. Good to see you. Mashula Ace. Good to see you. And thanks for coming in. Yeah, this is crazy. Anyway, and please thumbs up if you like it. I hope you'll like it. But, fingers crossed. All right, so let me move this over. So I got the oven preheating, and that's the biggest thing. And hold on, let me move this over here. I'm going to move the mixer over. So this is going to be very scary. Okay, there's the mixer. Okay, I'm squeezing this in here. Let me see. I'll try to do it sideways. That might be a little easier to see. But I felt like I'm going to try this, and we'll see how this goes. But there's the mixer. So this is the KitchenAid. Not that I'm sponsored, but holler at me, KitchenAid. These are great if you have room in your kitchen for this. These are good because they're very strong. And they're made really well, and they've been making these since like 1920 or something. And they really haven't changed the shape or the situation for these things. They have not changed in that amount of time. You can look it up, but it's like in the 20s or the 30s they came out with these. And they still use them in bakeries. They use a bigger version of it in the bakery, but basically this thing, let me make sure I line this up. There we go. So I'm lining up the bowl because there's a little bowl guide at the bottom here. You can't see it, but it just locks the bowl into place. And then there's a lock on the top of this thing. And then I'm going to put on the batter. So this is what they call the batter blade. And this is what it looks like. And hopefully I can slide this on correctly while I'm doing this. I should have probably done this before. There it is. So it's locked in place. So this thing, and it's very powerful. And the other thing about the mixer that's really cool, and I can't really show you well here, but there is at the top here, this little round circle has attachments that you can add to it. So there's like a slicer, a pasta machine thingy. It's all this stuff. And this is my favorite mixer, and it's usually about $200. They're a little pricey, but I've had this one a very long time. And my old kitchen used to be this color. But I refuse to get rid of my mixer because I love this color. All right. So let me crack the eggs. I'm going to have to move. Or just rearrange one more thing. All right, so I put the baking powder in. So let me go over my list. So here's the recipe. So you use 1 3/4 cups of flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. We did that. And then half a teaspoon of salt. And then the soft ingredients is the 1 stick of butter, which is a half a cup. And then I'm going to add, I have 1 cup of sugar, which this is where the the recipe goes wrong. For, you healthy people, or if you have, sugar or diabetes, any kind of sugar intolerance, this is not for you. And then you have two beaten eggs. Okay. And then 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and then the milk. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do how are we going to do this? Yes. So we're going to cream the butter. Now, this is the part you can't see. I may have to do some creative things. So right now with the mixer, it has this speeds. It goes really slow and really fast, and it's hard to see here. But these numbers, I forget what the numbers say, but they go from, slow to fast. So when you're beating the eggs, when you're beating flour, you should start it on low. But anyway, I'll show you that. And then you can speed it up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you when I add the sugar. Go in here. Sorry about the little change here. But here we go. So there's the inside of this thing. Yes. Oh, she spins. Good to see you. So what you do is you cream. They call this creaming the butter. So I'm creaming the butter. Oops. And you see how it's getting nice and soft there? And then what you do is you add the sugar. I've already measured this. They have a little thing to add to your and you hear the sugar crunching around in there. You just add a little bit at a time and you let it go. Yeah. And this does not have a lot of butter or sugar in it. But anyway, I'm just going to put the whole thing in there. Add it all in there. So that's done. And just let that go. All right. And then I'm going to stop this for a second. Here we go. Yeah, so just to show you. And this has a nice lock on it. And what it does is it locks everything into place, but there it is. So that's the creamed, whenever you cream sugar and butter, that's what it looks like. Oh, the mixer needs a good wash down. Oh, you see all the flour. Yeah, this has a lot of flour on it. There it is. Good to see you. So yeah, so that's that. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add, I'm going to put the vanilla. And I got to put the eggs. So I'm going to add the vanilla in real quick. And I'm just sort of, I'm going to guesstimate that one. I want to make sure I don't forget to put this in. And then I add the milk at the end. So let me put the eggs next. So what you do is you cream the butter. Oh, this is a cake. Yeah, you cream the butter. You cream the butter, add the sugar, the eggs, the vanilla, and then forget what goes next. But basically, that's the order. Yeah. Okay. So let me just see. I'll try to do it this way. Hopefully, we won't have a situation. There we go. All right. So I'm going to do the 2 eggs. So here's a little egg. Here's a little container. It's always good to crack the eggs into another container, because sometimes the eggs might have something in there that may be scary. They might be like slightly fertilized. So you might want to look. So that's what I'm doing. See, I'll put that in there, but see, there it is. And there goes the eggs. So I put that in there. So what you do is you just want to make sure that you get the eggs, cracked into another container, just so you can inspect. It's kind of hard to see. Let's see if I can get this in here. But there are the eggs there. And then I'm just going to beat them with a fork and then add them to the mixer. Whoops. There we go. Sorry about that. But I'm just beating the eggs. And this is 2 eggs. And you just want to make sure that the egg and the yolk and the white are mixed together. Okay. And that's pretty good. See that? Okay. I'm going to put this on low. And let me see if I can... I'm going to turn this around again. Okay. Well, I've got flour everywhere. There it is. So the egg went in there. Now, let's see. Put the vanilla. And now I need the 3/4 cup of milk as soon as that mixes in a little bit better. Now these mixers, the thing that you have to do is you have to... oh, hey, China, Crochet Queen. Good to see you. And what you have to do is you have to scrape down these sides, because sometimes the ingredients get stuck on the sides there. I'm just going to speed it up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to unlock this. And I'm going to scrape down the sides. And see the egg on there? It's a little icky, but there it is. Okay. And then, let's see here. Let me find my little scraper. I'm just consulting my recipe. Yeah, I got the eggs, sugar, the butter, and then I have to add the milk. And you add the milk alternately. Yep, there we go. Ah, okay, very good. And then you pour it into the pans. And at 350 for 25 to 30 minutes. Okay, got it. All right, here goes. Let's keep going. But anyway, what did I do with my scraper? I always lose my scraper. But anyway, oh, here's my scraper. Yeah, so what you want to do is scrape down the sides like this. And usually when you're doing the flour, this won't get mixed in. That's the only thing about these mixers, is that they sometimes stick on the side. So you like to scrape them down. It's a good practice. Little tip there. All right, so I'm going to put that back in. And so they say add a little flour and a little bit of... and actually, let me put that back up again. I'm going to add just a little bit of... whoops. Let me add just a little bit of flour in there. There we go. Okay. Trying to do this with one hand, so it's hard. So you're going to put a little flour in there. Okay. That's about 1/3 of it. I'm going to put 1/3 or 1/2. Something like that. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put this on. I'm going to let it mix a little bit. And this way you don't get your hands all in there. You know what I mean? It sort of gives you a little bit of... and that's why I like to use the mixer, because it does help a little bit. And it makes things really fluffy in terms of the... yeah, it's a Saturday cake. That's correct. Yep. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Okay, now we're going to put the milk. So here's a little bit of milk here. Hopefully I don't spill this on the counter. There's the milk. I'm going to add just a little bit of that in there. And then we'll just keep going. You know, we'll just keep mixing. So how are the muffins, Suzanne? I kind of want a muffin. That sounds good. Yes. Good to see you. All right. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I'm gonna put a little more flour. We'll try to wrap this up and we'll put it in the oven, and hopefully this will cook in about a half an hour. I don't know if I'm gonna hang out the whole half an hour, but we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Just do a little more of that. Okay. You lock it. Yep. Put a little of that in there. Keep going. And you see on these sides here, you got to scrape it down because it gets kind of stuck. It goes real high. But that's what you do. Yeah. And I'll scrape it down in just a minute. Got to be careful. You don't want to get in the middle of the blade there. But just scrape it down so it gets incorporated. And that's the whole thing with baking. You got to incorporate everything in there. But there it is. All right. It's looking good. Put a little more milk. Okay. More milk in there. There we go. Muffin was yummy. Not as sweet as cake. And the blueberries are healthy. Very good. Very good. Checking you out. You see how it's getting nice and cakey now? Because the moisture is catching up. Anyway, whoops. I did a bad thing there. I got a little bit on the blade. But there it is. It's going. See if I can knock that off a little bit. There we go. But there it is. It's looking good. See, that batter is great. That's looking nice. Okay. A little more milk, and that's the end of the milk. Yep. There it goes. All right. I think we finished everything. Yeah, that looks good. All right now. Very nice. Yes. So that's looking very good. And there's my recipe book there. If you can see it in the... Yep. This is my sifter. I use it. It's just a strainer, but you can use a strainer to sift your flour. And I have a couple different sizes. These are plastic, so they're washable. And these are like at the Dollar Tree. They're real cheap. Yeah. All right now. But anyway, this is the cookbook. It's backwards. Yeah. Okay. Let me see here. I think that's good. I just might scrape it down just a little bit. And then I think that's for it. That's the batter. All right. Let me unlock this. All right. So that looks good. Looking good. I'm just going to scrape these sides down. Maybe just incorporate that just for a couple of seconds. You don't want to overbeat the batter because then it gets tough. And that's with anything. Whether it's cake, cookies, bread. You just don't want to over mix. But you want to mix it till it's just slightly, it's mixed and then that's it. You don't want to go too far. But that's what I'm doing. Let me scrape down this blade a little bit. Got a little flour on the top there. All right, just lock it, a couple seconds. But there it is. Okay, we're done. That's beautiful. So there it is. And if you want to, you can lick the batter. I don't know if you'd want to. But there's that. Yes. Okay, let me turn around. All right now, so we did it. I'm doing the Dora Lobicimos. We did it. So anyway, but like I said, thank you all for coming in. And I hope you enjoyed the cake thus far. And that it's helpful. And things like that. So I'm going to put this down. Now, this is the hard part here. Ooh. This is where I have to put it in the pan, which always scares me. Because it's always like a thing, And what you can do is just scrape down the paddle. This is a paddle blade here. And then get that extra cake batter off of there. Or you could eat it. I'm not a big batter person, but people do eat the batter. I don't know. I'm a little afraid. Yes. Slay. Uh-oh. I hope Slay is good. Let's see. But anyway, that muffin sounds great. Thanks for coming in. And Josh was saying, I made you a short clip of your live. Oh, no. Oh, that's fine. Uh-oh. I hope I don't scare people. All right. So let's see. Let me find my pan. Uh-oh. See, this is the thing. I'm working on a really small countertop. So it's like you have to be real creative in doing this. But at least the oven's warming up. But anyway, this is the cookbook, and I think it is backward. Yes, it is. But it's the MetaGiven Modern Family Cookbook. And this is a good cookbook because it has how to plan your meals, how to go shopping, all those lovely things that you need to do when you're first starting out and you don't really know what you're doing. It sort of talks you through it and how to shop and what meat should look like. They give you all the stuff like that. Let me tell you when this came out. This one says, this is copyright 1942. And let's see, it says 42, 1953, 1958. And then they had a new revised edition, which was 1958. So I'm not sure what year this thing is, the one that I have. But I've had multiple copies of this. And I like the original one I had was green. This is a slightly newer one. It's gray. Comes in different colors. But go to thrift books or something like that, and they can tell you if they have it. Usually, it's still pretty popular, even though it's an old book. All right, so anyway, here's the pan. So you're supposed to put this in 2 8-inch pans. I'm going to have to do something creative with this, which is terrible. But you can butter the pan. So I always use the butter sleeve and just kind of put it in there like this. And this way it keeps you, you don't have to put your hands in it. And you can see you can butter the pan pretty well there. Yeah. And then I'm just going to pour the, oh, thank you, Blossom, I think. Okay. So this is what you do. All right. So I only have 1 8-inch pan, which is crazy. So I was kind of going, ooh, I only have one. I can't remember why I only have one, but this is the thing that happens. Like I don't bake enough, and so that's part of the problem. So what I'm going to do is make sure that is locked that way. I'm taking it off the little thing. So this is the batter. So I'm going to they always say to fill this about halfway, but I'm going to live dangerously. Let me see how thick this goes. This is a really small cake. Like, it's tiny. This is not going to feed that many people. They say 8 people, and I'm going, I don't believe you. But anyway, I'm just going to put the batter in like this. And you just put it in the pan. And try to even it out. Like, you don't mess with it too much. But I buttered the pan. You could actually put flour. I didn't put flour. Or you can also use parchment paper, which I did not take out the parchment paper. I was thinking about it. But I didn't feel like messing with it today. But you just slide it in there. And then you just put it in the oven. So I think, what's funny? I could put this whole thing in my pan right now. I'm going to do it. But you're supposed to separate this into 2 8-inch pans. But there's not a whole lot of batter here. So I think I'll be fine with the pan that I have. And these are these Wilton pans. Wilton pans are, if you go in the cake decorating section of the store, they sell these. And they're made out of aluminum, I think. And they're very, very slippery, so stuff doesn't really stick to them too badly. But they're not non-stick, per se. And I'm just scraping out as much of this batter, because this is a really small cake. Because you only use, like, barely 2 cups of flour. There's not a whole lot going on. So I think I'll be good. So this is probably going to take an hour to cook. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to just see what happens there. And then we scrape down this last little bit. I'm really going for it. See, I don't know if you can see how clean this is on the inside. But I'm really going for it. There we go. All right. So there it is. So bam. So I scraped it pretty well as I could do. Maybe I could do a little more here. I'm really trying to conserve this batter because there's not a whole lot in there. Yeah, I guess that's a little better. All right, let's put that in. And that's it. We're done. So put this in the oven, and then we'll see what happens. And then at this point, I probably will shut it down. We'll see what happens. Okay, we put this here. Okay, so let's see. But yeah, it looks good. I'm going to just show you that real quick I don't want to cause damage. But it's looking good. See that? And it's mixed real well. So I'm going to stick it in the oven, which is right here. Bend over. And I put it like right in the middle of the oven. And then we're good. All right. So let me just see here what's happening. I'll take a look at the chat. And woohoo, we did it. Okay, Wilton pans are excellent. Yes, they're the best. I really and have you ever tried Suzanne the Fat Daddy-O? That's a brand that's newer. And they used to sell it only online, but I noticed that either Michael's, I think Michael's got them in their store, but it's Fat Daddy-O, Daddio. And those are good. Oh, come back when you're eating it. Yeah, it's gonna be a couple hours, but I figured yeah we'll do that. But that's good. But yeah, they're awesome. Yeah, I do enjoy those. Those are great. So, and let me take this off real quick, and I'll show you the batter. But yeah, this does this batter on this. Let me see. Hold on a second. I'm gonna need two hands. Let me see if I can do it this way. There we go. Yeah, this. But you see, like this is a nice, pretty nice size batter. Batter paddle, and it's really good. This is one of the best. Like I said, the KitchenAid mixer is really good. And if you can get them, they usually have, like on Prime Day, they always have one, and Black Friday. But if you can afford one and you like to bake a reasonable amount, these are really worth it. They're kind of big. So, and I usually just put mine, I have a little cabinet that I just shove it in the corner and it's there. And then when I'm ready to use it, it's there. But anyway, there's the batter there. So, but I just wanted to show you that. But it's delicious. So I'm gonna do the frosting myself, and I'm gonna use powdered sugar. So we're just gonna have a carb overload today. So we have to do something about that, yeah. So, but baking's fun, and it's something good to do. If you do your own stuff, then you don't have any exotic things in there, and you can also use like applesauce instead of the. No, I use the stick of butter for the shortening. But you can use applesauce and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, there's Ariel. Hey, good to see you. Never tried that brand. I've had enough cake pans. Yeah, Fat Dad. Oh, okay, never mind. But it looks like Wilton to me, actually. They're very similar to Wilton, but they're good. Yes, I'll come back when I'm eating. Oh, maybe I will. Oh, hey, Jonathan. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Yes. And please give a thumbs up if you like it. So, like I said, we're in the oven, and it's cooking at 350. And hopefully, they said 25 minutes. Now, I doubled up the batter. It's probably going to be an hour. But, when it's done. But we have, is it Bojan's? Stefanik. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks for coming in. And, post the finished product. I will. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. And so, like I said, I'm playing around. I'm gonna try a chocolate icing. We'll see. But I have some chips, like the semi-sweet chocolate chips. And I'm gonna probably. Oh, you're from Serbia. Oh, nice. Good to see you. Okay, welcome in. Yes, I could tell that name. Yes. Okay, Serbia. Yeah, I went to school with a guy. What was his name? Oh boy. He had no, he wasn't from Serbia. The other guy was Serbian. Oh, now I cannot remember his name. Oh, well, I'm sorry. My brain is slow. So we got Michelle Schlepper. Hello. Good to see you. But thanks for coming in from Serbia. How's it going in Serbia these days? Yes, let me put this thing down. These are so heavy. But look at all the flour. I'll show you the flour real quick. But you see all this flour? Look at the flour is everywhere. And there's bowls everywhere. And all the flour. See all the flour? Yep. So, and this is I'll show you this little tip. Sorry about the flour, but this is life. So this is a good thing if you need to put butter on something. This is like a little paintbrush, and it's silicone. And they sell these at the Dollar Tree. And they're really kind of fun too. You can use that to put the butter on. But I just use the butter paper. But anyway, yeah, see the mess? That's what happens when you bake. Gets very floury and things like that. Yes. So nice day. Oh, good. Yeah, right now I don't know what the temperature is, but I think it's going to be in the 70 Fahrenheit here. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, have fun cleaning up. I know it's brutal. That's what I'm going to be doing. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed the live stream, please give a thumbs up and come back and check out my channel. And I do some cooking here and there. Yes. Let's see. Oh, there it is. It's working. Yay. So So all you have to do is it Bojan? It's you can type weather, a space, and then your city, and it Nightbot will pick it up and tell you what the temperature. Yeah, so you're pretty warm. You're 78. That's nice. That's gonna be a nice day. Yes. I think it's around that too, because it's pretty warm here. Like I have short sleeves on again. Yeah. Yes, yes. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So that's what we're doing. Well, anyway, well, listen, you guys have a good week, and I'll show you the finished product because we'll have to wait. It's going to be a long time before this is done. But let me see if I can show you the progress. If I can do this without causing mayhem. Okay, hang on a sec. Let me sit down here, turn around. Okay. So there it is. So it's in the oven. I don't know if you can see that. I got flour everywhere. That's looking pretty good. Yep. So that's it. Yeah. It's looking pretty good. So I got quite a ways to go, but it's looking great. But yeah, thank you for the thumbs up, and I'm glad you guys got a chance to hang out for a little bit today. I figure I'm baking, what the heck. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Well, anyway, have a good day, and we'll see you all soon, in YouTube. And come back and hang out some more. Thanks. Bye.